and the black.
Hi, so welcome everyone, and this is a very wonderful discussion about Nigerian church history and all situations and issues that relate to them. I'm with Reverend Dr. Abraham Olusola-Niyi. Well done, sir. God bless you, sir. It's
Thank
good
you
to
very
have
much.
you.
Thank you.
That is a great man, a teacher, and he has done extensive work in Nigerian church history, and we're going to be discussing with him today, and it's going to be a very, very wonderful discussion.
1900.
Okay.
Fast forward from when the missionaries came in 1942, 1950, and 1842, 1850, the Baptists, 1864, and the rest of them.
Yeah.
Now, by 1990,
1890.
By
1890.
1900.
1900, okay.
1900. There was this desire to, because of the crisis between the missionaries, the white missionaries, and the black, the native pastors, over treatment and how their welfare was taken.
Okay, sir.
There was this nationalism that came into the church.
Okay, sir.
And some of them led to what is popularly known as the schism in the Baptist church. Then the African church has its own issue and so on. So by 1900, it appeared as if there's no one that likes trouble or crisis.
Okay.
So that standoff against some of the excesses of the white missionaries,
okay,
and the maltreatment of native pastors,
okay,
actually, helped some of them who were objective, who were caring,
okay,
to say, look, let's look at.
And when you talking about the white bishops, the white missionaries now.
The white missionaries.
Okay.
So it was white missionaries against the native pastors or native ministers.
Okay. You want to mention some names, sir?
Let me.
Johnson.
James Johnson.
James Johnson.
That's the most.
Okay.
Then Oladejo Stone,
okay,
the Baptists. Okay. In Lagos, we had Oladejo Stone.
J.F. Coker.
Coker of the several church.
Okay.
African church. Okay. He was also instrumental to Cherubim and Seraphim.
Okay. J.F. Coker had the links with the CIA.
Yes, he provided the accommodation for Moses Oromalade.
Okay.
In fact, it was his personal farm property around Agege, yes, that was used as the base. So those are historical facts that can be adduced. Then we had also Baptists. There were even three names. Agbebi.
Okay.
Mojola Agbebi is another important person in that circle.
Okay.
Then Crowder was in the Anglican, even though he was denied the bishopric of Lagos, he was confined to the
West Africa.
No, they call it Niger and beyond.
Diocese, okay.
And so on. So
I heard that after Ajayi Crowder, Johnson should have been the bishop.
Yes, Johnson should have been the bishop, and in fact, to undermine him,
okay,
they gave him a position that they call it today they call them provosts,
okay,
or dean of the cathedral.
Okay,
they now made it like a position of assistant
bishop. I heard that too.
And you assume that when the bishop leaves,
the assistant
should take over or should be elevated. They refused and brought another Mary Jones and all those crises that followed. So now I'm trying to so looking at the nationalism, the issue of nationalism in the church, then some of the educated priests who were coming up, like Bolaji Dowu.
Okay.
Bolaji Dowu was also instrumental in fact, he was the first head of Department of Religious Studies, UI.
How true was the story of Balagido writing a thesis of 40 pages to the University of London and the team passed?
Exactly.
Somebody was saying it was juju.
No, not juju. For example, when I was doing my research, I went to UI,
Okay.
and I, especially on ecumenism,
Okay, sir.
the seminal thesis
Okay.
on that in that field
Okay.
was written by Baba. He also died recently.
Okay.
In fact, not up to 80 pages.
Wow.
To finish a PhD in those days.
In those days?
Yes, he did PhD, and
That's like what year?
that was in the 60s.
1960s.
Yes, in the 60s. In the 60s. Those names at least. So where I'm going is that because of the increased or improved educational status of the priests, of the native priests,
Okay.
they were able to challenge some of the excesses and the misrepresentation that the white missionaries were giving to the gospel or to the faith.
Okay.
So, notable among them, Baba Adegbola was E.A. Adegbola was a contemporary of Bolaji Dowu.
Okay.
In fact, his son, Tanjon Sorolana, Adegbola's son,
Okay.
said Bolaji Dowu was the best man at his father's wedding.
Okay.
But this was the man who betrayed him. In fact, if you look, you can do something on the betrayer.
But Bolaji Dowu and Adegbola, they were teaching at UI.
Exactly.
Okay. What year was that, sir?
That was Amber Oduye will provide me the.
Okay.
Yes, sorry, please. Okay. Bolaji Dowu was around. I know it's in the 60s.
Okay, 60s. Okay.
Yes, it's in the early 60s.
Okay.
It's in the early 60s. He wrote something about Bolaji Dowu. So, but he had to leave UI for Emmanuel College.
Okay.
You know,
Adegbola, right?
Yes. You know, Emmanuel College is owned by Anglican and Methodists.
Okay.
So those were some of the ecumenical engagements that took place in those days.
Okay.
In fact, Baptists and some other and one other denomination had a school together in Yaba.
Okay.
What is Yaba Technical College today?
Okay.
Was a school owned by the Baptists and the Anglican.
Okay.
So there were such kind of arrangement or relationship between these mission churches, because they were all part of the Christian Council of Nigeria, which is the first ecumenical body in Nigeria.
Okay, so before the CAN, there was the Christian Council of Nigeria,
which was
that was what year?
Founded 1939.
1939.
Yes.
Who were the founding fathers of that?
The founding fathers were this man from Niger Delta.
Sokari Braid.
Sokari Braid was the Pentecostal.
Okay.
Yes. Let me. I'm not amateur. People like I know this man too was there. Akanu Ibiam, but Akanu Ibiam came in later. Akanu Ibiam was the chairman of the. It was an Eastern Region Christian Council that metamorphosized or that evolved to become a National Christian Council of Nigeria.
So how was that abolished? And then why did Obasanjo bring in CAN?
It wasn't abolished. It was only limited to the mainline churches, what we call the missionary churches.
Okay. The African indigenous churches had not been part of.
They only accepted 2 of them.
Okay.
The Church of the Lord Aladura.
Okay.
And because even
that's Oshitelu. I think.
No, that
Church of
exactly.
the
That's
Lord.
what I'm trying.
I think it's a
I think it was okay because he's a member of the World Council of Churches.
Okay.
So he got in. They asked him to purify his theology.
But Oshitelu had his own Bible school, and then he was trying to come up with his own kind of theology. You know.
In fact, is
I think the Bible school is still there at
yes, Ogere. And you know, he had either by providence or whatever, he had children who all of them almost studied theology, including the person who is there now. Then there's this former lecturer at UI who also died some time ago. He's also the son of Oshitelu. Okay. So so they were able to prop up his ideology or his legacy as regards theological issues. So
so I was going to ask about the Nigerian Council of Churches.
Yes, so Christian Council of Nigeria.
Christian Council of Nigeria. CCN. So that was before CAN.
Yes, and it's still a block within CAN.
Okay, yes,
it's one of the blocks.
Okay,
and it's made up of the missionary churches.
So did the colonial government recognize the CCN at that time in 1938?
Exactly.
Okay,
because in fact it was pioneered by the Presbyterian, what they call the Yoruba Church. You know, the Anglican Church was known as the Yoruba Mission.
Okay, the Anglican Church was known as the Yoruba Mission.
Yes, and in other places it was known as CMS.
Okay.
So it was CMS, but you know, the Niger Delta people looked at it as the Yoruba Church.
Okay.
So you will see in books CMS/Yoruba Mission.
Okay.
So the Presbyterian, this person I was trying to recall, that school in Calabar, Wardell,
Hope Wardell.
Okay. Hope Wardell was a missionary.
Okay.
Yes. So Hope Wardell, Akanu Ibiam, and a good number of them. Okay. So with some one or two white missionaries. Okay. Notably, the man who started the church around Stadium Surulere. The church is now big now.
Kwaibo Church.
No, the Anglican Church. Okay. It's named after that man.
Okay, I can't remember.
Okay, so they now came up with the idea of let's meet together and see how we can promote ecumenism and unity within the body of Christ. The missionary activities, we can agree and cooperate on some things. So that's how CCN, Christian Council, was established, and they later moved to Ibadan.
Okay, the headquarters was in Ibadan.
Yes, the headquarters was in Ibadan. Now, the body was so strong and active that they got some support from outside, like the Tier Fund. There is this Institute of Church and Society, then Daystar Press. Those are very significant in the history of CCN.
Okay.
They had a printing press.
In Nigeria?
In Nigeria.
Okay.
Which was also based in Ibadan. Okay. And so they were using it to publish their literature and promote the gospel. Then they also went into Bible interpretation and Bible translation.
Okay.
With in agreement with the International Bible Society and the Bible Society of Nigeria. Okay. You know, both are not the same.
Yes.
So the CCN actually encouraged or promoted Bible translation.
More than ecumenism.
Yes, more than exactly.
Okay. Because CAN is more of ecumenism.
And you see, when you talk about ecumenism, in the way you have referred to, it's just celebration, it's just social, it's just activities.
Okay.
Whereas this other one is intellectual, and I will point out some of the things they did.
Okay.
So with the support they had, they built a place, Institute of Church and Society in Ibadan.
Oh,
very, very beautiful structure, enduring. The building was dedicated around 1963. If you still go there, it was supported by the German church. Either I don't know whether it's the Lutheran church or the or
it's most likely will be the
yes,
Lutheran church.
A church So, and they built accommodation for people who were. The first time I knew that place was 1972.
Oh.
I went to meet one of our pastors, Shoden there, I forgot it, who was doing Bible translation.
Okay, with them.
With them in Yoruba,
Okay.
and so they get. So those are the things that interested them. I mean, that caught their interest. Not every year let's let's meet and Tafaba Square. They were more. Then this Baba Adegbola now became the director of the institute.
What's his full name?
E.A. Adegbola.
Okay. I'll look at it.
Yes,
okay.
E.A. Adegbola. So he now became the director of that center. So that's the time he was able to begin the printing press.
Okay.
Daystar Press.
Okay.
A good number of literature, of sound Christian literature, just as we now have Acts or Baraka Press in the north.
Okay.
This, if you mention Daystar Press, it was.
But it's no longer functional now.
I can't answer because I was asking Baba Moduko Duyoye because he also worked there later. Okay. He said he doesn't know that they brought one man, one Igbo man who came here and cannibalized. I don't know much about it, so don't let me go into that. But it's something that one can find out.
Okay.
So they had a printing press. They had Bible translation. Collaboration with outsiders. They had the place was used for religious purposes.
Okay.
And basically accommodation and retreats. I won't use the word camp. Retreats, because it's not a large place, but it was used essentially for retreats for university teachers and all. So that place, and it's not far from Emmanuel College.
Okay.
So Baba Adegbola was the director. So it was from there that he was invited to the Methodist Church to be made a bishop.
Oh, so he wasn't a Methodist from the start or something?
No, he was a Methodist, but he had gone into these ecumenical bodies to work.
He was teaching at the University of Ibadan also?
No, he had left UI. He came to Emmanuel College.
Okay. But he was teaching at UI with Bolaji Dowu?
Yes, he started with Bolaji Dowu.
Okay.
But he left when he was made the rector or the provost of the Emmanuel
College, I see.
Which is College of Theology.
Okay, for Anglican and Methodist.
Yes, for training of priests.
Yes.
He is more concerned with spiritual concern and theological development.
Okay.
That's the man. Whereas Bolaji Dowu was interested in scholarship.
Okay.
In
African.
Yes, African. Most Olodumare.
Yeah.
He was more into traditional ATR.
As I even felt Bolaji Dowu was more of an ATR man.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. In fact, that's the part of the crisis in the Methodist Church. He was alleged to be involved in. So some of those things we cannot prove.
But he's a fantastic scholar. He was a fantastic scholar.
He is, yes.
Very brilliant.
He was. So now, even during the time of Baba Adegbola's directorship of Institute of Church and Society, that was when the first Christian education curriculum was developed for Nigeria.
Okay, so when you say the Christian education curriculum for
yes.
churches or
no, government was trying. That was in the 60s.
Okay.
And early 70s. Government was trying to,
to teach CRK in schools, something like that.
Government was not involved in schools initially.
Okay.
It was the missions who owned majority of the schools in Nigeria.
Yes.
Around 1970 or before then, there was this interest of government in schools.
Okay.
Because they said, look, these are the people who are molding the minds of
leave it to missionaries.
For missionaries. Then those who who saw it as an attack on the Christian faith, because they saw that a good number of people were becoming Christians through the schools.
Through the schools, of course.
So the Islam and some other groups who wanted to prompt government to take over the schools.
Okay.
So in preparation for that, Those who were visionary, like Baba Adegbola, now call the Christian people's attention that look, let's design the curriculum for our schools, not just religious. Baba developed curriculum for primary, for secondary. Then also with emphasis on Christian religious education,
Okay.
Christian studies.
Okay.
But he taught on other areas.
Okay.
And the government accepted it. In fact, they couldn't get any other proposal better than what
was
Adegbola did. So, especially in Western region, and you know, all that, if you are talking about education in Nigeria, it's about Western region.
Yes.
The others were following.
Yes.
It's whatever we adopt, we do that they adopt and all.
Yes.
So he came up with that curriculum, and that curriculum became the first. In fact, he was only able to do, I think, primary and part of secondary.
Oh.
So where he left off, that was where that thing remained for a long period until maybe in the 90s.
Okay.
You know, Nigerians are lazy, and you know the military too. They don't have time for. So it was in the 90s that some people who were scholarly minded felt that look, this curriculum we have been using is old. So I mean, what I'm alluding to is that the curriculum development in Nigeria was championed by Adegbola.
Okay.
And I want to say, but I'm not, whether he's even, his area of, he was, as a scholar, he was first a science person before coming into religious studies. Okay. So I'm trying to, because he was able to design that curriculum, both for science and arts and everything, then did a lot of things in religious studies.
And the government took it.
And the government took it.
I wanted to ask you, sir, about the fight for independence and the church.
Yes.
As independence was coming up,
yes.
And then so was that a relationship between what was happening to the native clergies,
okay,
and the fight for independence? Because some of these names interact. They come up
on
both sides.
Okay. Actually, if we are talking about Nigerian pastors, or what we call the native pastors, and their involvement in politics in Nigeria, then we come from Herbert Macaulay.
Yes.
In fact, Herbert Macaulay and his father, no, was it his father or in-law? H.O. Davis.
Okay.
These were people who had very strong nationalistic fervor, and as well saw the relevance of the church in national development.
Okay.
Like, we were trying to raise the issue. For example, is it J.F. Adiajayi or E.R. Indele who wrote The Making of the Elites? That's another good book.
Okay.
It was the the church, the missionaries, who through the establishment of schools were able to create what is known as the new elite.
Okay. Yes.
For the Nigerian society.
Yeah.
So this elite became the vanguard of the struggle for independence. But some of them did not as much respect, I won't use the word, did not feel strongly that Christianity had anything to do with it, with whatever struggle they were pursuing.
But some of them were in church.
Nominal members.
Oh, okay.
That's why the people will ask, Awolowo was a Rosicrucian and yet he was a member of the Methodist Church.
Oh.
Yes. He went to Emmanuel College.
Awolowo went to Emmanuel College?
Yes, Emmanuel College. That's
Seriously?
why he became a Methodist. But originally he's an Anglican.
Oh, okay.
That's why you find in his hometown he built an Anglican church. But he went to he went to Wesley College, Ibadan.
College, yes.
Wesley College. Sorry for the correction. Wesley College, Ibadan. Okay. So that's how he became. Then you are talking of Azikiwe. Azikwe was also supposed to be, in fact, he's Benjamin, was supposed to be a Christian. Did we see? So it was people like Akanu Ibiam, who later.
Akanu Ibiam also was part of the struggle for independence.
Yes, okay. Yes. I mean, but his own was one as a medical doctor. You know, there are some professions that do not readily make you, I mean, come to the top of politics.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I was going to mention a name, but exactly. I'll get that name.
So, ordinarily, we expect doctors to be very reticent, people who are quiet, people who are faced with the sacred
profession
assignment of saving lives.
Okay.
So they are not, in most cases, but people like Beko will now prove us wrong that even medical doctors can be that militant and engage in struggles. But Akanu Ibiam was focused more on his medical practice and his struggle for independence. In fact, he worked with the whites. That's why he was made the first governor of Eastern Region. You know, he was made a governor. Yeah. Though those were honorary titles, positions then. The premier is the
administrative power.
But the governor was we have solved those. So people like that. So if we come from NNDP by Herbert Macaulay, Zik.
That was in Lagos.
That was in Lagos. Everything took place in Lagos.
Okay.
Even Zik, all of them. So after Herbert Macaulay, Zik took over the party and renamed it NCNC.
Okay.
Then Awolowo established the AG Action Group. Akintola, all of them were there. I mean,
most of the people you are mentioning here now are Christians. Exactly.
Samuel Ladoke Akintola was a Christian Baptist. In fact, he taught in Baptist Academy
in Obanikoro.
Yes, before going abroad. Okay. He's a mathematics teacher.
Oh.
Yes. His first degree is in mathematics before he went to read law.
Wow.
Yes. He's a mathematician. So those were Christians. And we could mention several other names. But in the clergy, there were few of them who were one leg in, one leg out.
I did a work on Ogunbiyi the other time. I don't know what you said.
Yes, I read. Yes, Ogunbiyi was what we can call Kelemes of Lagos. He's just a socialite.
But he was a clergyman.
He was a clergy by accident.
How, sir?
You know, there are some people who come into the ministry, into the clerical ministry, but their spirit is not there. And for the
Ogunbiyi could have been any other thing. He had the opportunity to become whoever he had the opportunity. So I didn't want to see that coming to the ministry was like maybe he didn't have anything to do.
Oh no, look, even until recently we had some people who came into the Anglican Church because they read prayers, they read the Bible, they don't have anything demanding. Unlike Pentecostals, we pray, we fast. Those disciplines were not necessary, were not required.
Okay. So let's go back to Ogunbiyi.
Okay. So Ogunbiyi, like I said, Ogunbiyi, yes, he was a socialite, very popular. Nigboro.
I heard also that he had a seat on the Legislative Council of Lagos.
Yes, exactly.
Politician.
Okay, good. Thank you for adding that. He was a politician. He was a Adikin, not Adikin. Melody Adikin. Like the whole problem. The whole Nigeria was like a.
I heard that he was the most ranking clergyman in Lagos.
Exactly. Yes, he was.
So how did he get that far?
But I won't. You know the corner. One pushes. See, Abule Egba. He wasn't made to come to the central Lagos.
Okay.
To even Mushito one lo ti ṣiṣẹ́ briefly. Wọ́n ò jẹ́ kó pẹ́ ńbẹ̀. Wọ́n push ẹni. You see, you know the Anglican Church.
Yeah.
Wọ́n post ẹni kò sí tó lè ṣe.
Okay.
So when they saw that kind of lifestyle and attitude, they felt that one, he could minister better among the natives, among the native Yoruba people.
Okay.
Then whatever damage he wants to do, let him go and do it.
But I was thinking that he was trying to do something in the line of nationalism. He was trying to say, so maybe that was why I don't understand. If you can help us with that, sir. And that's why he was doing all those things he was doing.
Actually, I won't dismiss that as a scholar, but if he had a true and proper orientation as a Christian, if I had the knowledge of the experience that people like Martin Luther had, after reading the book of Romans and seeing salvation is by faith through Christ and not by, so that spiritual experience and awareness, if it had occurred to Agumi, would have been a better.
So you were saying now that Agumi was working among the Yoruba natives, but I discovered that Agumi also was able to attract who is in Lagos those days. So if he was with the people on the ground, how did he attract those who and who in Lagos that they came up with the
because he was educated, he was highly educated for his time. He was also connected. He was even among the ruling class then. He goes in without inhibition. He had access to them. So to that extent, he was a power broker. He was an authority.
Outside the church.
Outside the church. And I think they said he's a prince of Ijebu or somewhere, not Ijebu, but he was a of the royalty.
But why is it that the works of Ogubi and his life has become so important in Nigerian church history that we cannot just look away from it?
Because he represents two faces of the church. He represented the church in transition, and he represented the church that is that though African, but was tending towards syncretism. So those were the issues.
And do you think, sir, looking at that time, the call for independence and the marginalization of the black
native pastors,
did that not give him a leverage to hear his views?
No, in fact, again, I think short of saying that I'm retracting what I said, but for those people who stood against these white excesses, it would have been worse.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, so I agree to some extent. He was radical. He confronted them. He didn't take.
And then we could just talk about J.K. Coker, who had breadfruit in Lagos.
Yes.
Who pulled out of the church.
Yes. The Coker family.
I think we'll come out to that in one minute, but we could just talk about it.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, the Coker family. It's not one. They are basically Akoko people. Yes, the Cokers are Akoko.
But they had been in Lagos.
They have been in. They own a lot of places in Agege and all that. Yes, and he was a cocoa merchant.
Yeah.
They will bring cocoa from all Ondo province and all those places and sell to Lagos. So he became a wealthy person. So that wealth provided him opportunity to be a mouth in the church.
Yes, it was people's word in our hands.
Yes, exactly. In fact, initially he wasn't educated. It was when he came down to Lagos that he was able to access education. In fact, we also use it to advise people. If there's nothing money cannot give you if you want it, especially education. He educated himself because he wanted to. So after that, he now was a very active member of the church. They now transferred. There was a transfer. I don't know whether it was there's this priest. They transferred one a popular pastor from Breadfruit, and the church members will say, "Why are you transferring it?" They said that he had immoral. They alleged that he had immorality. Unfortunately for them, not up to 6 months, the white man in a, I don't know whether Ebute Metta or somewhere else, also had
the
same issue. And what they did was they now moved him from that place, and they dismissed this, they threatened this one with dismissal, and they now moved that white man to another place. So some of them, so they had a meeting, Egbe Omo Yoruba and all that, and said, look, what are we seeing in the church? Why? So they confronted, even though the Anglican Church is Episcopal, with hierarchy and all that, but there's still a way in which the members
had a say
in what goes on and could determine.
It was people's wording. So
yes,
that was a very big administrative
position. Exactly. So
I had it pulled out on a Sunday morning.
Yes, it was a Sunday morning. They agreed. In fact, another significant thing is that the number was quite significant.
That followed him that Sunday morning.
Assuming we have a church of about 67 members and 58 pull out.
As he went that Sunday morning.
Just a few people were left. But he wasn't a priest. So what do we do? Okay. So he now looked for, not Oredigba. There was another priest who was accused of something, and said, look, come and be Passover. So they moved to the first African church, Ebute Metta. That's where they went to have their service and said, and I guessed that he owned that property.
Okay.
So at least you can't stop. And also, it wasn't far from where the cathedral is now. What's it called? The church in Ebute Metta.
Okay.
The Anglican church. So
St. Jude's.
St. Jude's.
Okay.
Not too far from St. Jude's. So they stayed there and started. And before they know it, the African church, the one in Agege, took off, and also so they started moving. So then, being an Akoko man, we shouldn't forget that link also helped him.
Okay.
So he moved. He was able to. That's why you find one of their earliest secondary school is African Church Grammar School, Okakoko.
Oh, I see.
So see that how history moves. So he was able to strengthen the African church even
in his hometown.
In his hometown.
So when JHF Kuka was doing, okay, go ahead.
Now but it's only in history that we know that he's from Akoko. Okay. He's everything Lagos.
Yes, so in fact, this is the first time.
The current where the police station is opposite Alausa.
Okay.
Opposite the Alausa Secretariat.
Sure,
in fact, yes, a land, even part of Alausa Secretariat was his property.
So wealthy, man.
So wealthy. So take from where the police station is, opposite that NEPA or something, down to even where Christ the light is, was owned by the Coca family. So another problem in history is that when you have one or two prominent people coming from a family, there's confusion.
Confusion in what sense, sir?
There are three of the Cocas.
Not just J.K.
Not
Coca.
one. There's one. So so the issue is that the one that was close to CNS.
Okay.
It's not the same thing as
it's
the
not
one.
JF Kuka.
Exactly.
Okay, JF Kuka is the one close to the African church.
Exactly.
Okay. He's the one I know.
Yeah.
So there is another one.
The second Coca is the one in CMS. I say CNS. But Tegbeta Bureau, in those days how they and possibly business egban ni gbogbo wọn jọ ṣe. We understand, but kí oníkálukú, the Yorubas are generous too.
Yes.
When it comes to
he was able to set them up.
And
they were doing well.
Yes. So it only this property. So in fact, there's a CNS church, but want to change orúkọ wọn sí white church. Come by kini. That's new opposite Alausa Secretariat.
Okay. And the church is still there.
It's still there.
Okay.
So that's good. Then àwọn kan náà wá. The third group now went to or sided with this man in Ogere. What's his name?
Oshitelu.
So, but I can check my files to know that. But I know there are three. There are three brothers.
Okay. So why was Ogubi when J.K. Kuka was pulling out of the Anglican Church?
Because he wasn't. No, that was before.
Okay.
He came later.
Okay.
Yes, Ogunbiyi is, say, in the 1920s.
Okay. Yes,
we are talking of 1900.
Okay.
So it was, in fact, later, lower. But assuming he was there, Kosintoleshe.
Okay.
Because even what about James Johnson?
Okay.
The Holy Johnson.
Okay.
The Holy Johnson did not pull out.
Yes.
Crowder himself died a miserable man. Why didn't? Yes, he died of heart attack. So on a Christmas, 31st of December.
How?
Oh, you did what humiliated any?
How, sir?
One. During there was a crisis.
Okay.
Mo fẹ́ wo bí the crisis yẹn ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni mo try ti. Okay, during there was this 1942 expedition. There was another expedition 18. Sorry. Yes, 18. So Timba should say please. It's 18 something. So the 1854 expedition.
To where?
To the east.
Okay.
Onitsha.
Okay.
He made a success of that that trip.
Okay.
He was able to get one of the free slaves who was Igbo.
Okay.
Taylor.
Okay.
To go with him, and they made a success of but the whites weren't happy
that they were going down east.
No, not that he was a black was heading.
Championing it.
Yes, was heading or making a success of a missionary mission endeavor.
Okay. Because
the first one they went, it wasn't very successful.
Okay.
The second one they went, and then it is this I want to the right word to use. These merchant ships that they normally use because they didn't have their own means of transportation.
Yes.
And we are talking of people in those days where they carried them on hammock and all that. So it was the merchant ship. And who owns it? Ahunyibo.
Yeah.
So the merchant ship that took them to Onitsha, they had issue with it. I think it has to do with refueling and all that. Even though we don't know how they got their fuel then, or it was another means of powering the
ship,
the steamboat or whatever they call it then. So they accuse him of overspending. Later on, what he recant and ask for forgiveness.
Okay.
What I'm talking is even in the Lambert 1988 Lambert conference. Resolution, apologizing to Crowder openly.
Okay.
They made accusation to steam rolling. So they came up with all accusations. Then his son Danderson, who was also an Adikin in the province of the Delta. In fact, that's exactly the word. Now also was making a success. So they conspired and went to the CMS headquarters in England and told lies against Ajayi Crowder. Two things I can remember. They said he was a weak leader. That most of the native pastors are drunkards and immoral people, that he couldn't check them. Two, they accused his son, Danderson, of taking over. No, what happened was that a white man came to Lagos as a missionary. And when he was in Lagos, he wanted to have an experience of other places. So he wanted to go to, so he applied to go to the Delta area. So when he got there, he felt that how can an African be an Adikin? Konje priest under him, you know the hierarchy,
yes,
the
yes,
Anglican. So the Adikin with Kini. So in order to, no, I think they had some issues.
Okay.
So he now came back and reported that Adikin Kutia Mantonshe, he shared Daku Kini kan. The next thing, they now posted the same man to go and replace him as that Deacon and recall him. And Danderson, you know what? Up to now, I want history Danderson in full. Danderson just left and went to Sierra Leone. You know, they came from Sierra Leone.
Yes.
In fact, two of Ajayi Crowther's sons, they account for. The one who was I want to say ship, who was a mariner. He was into ship. He was a ship.
Sailor.
He was a sailor and a mariner. Mariner, one those.
Okay.
So that the first son is a Mordecai Abi, then Danderson. But Danderson, we were told, relocated to Sierra Leone and started and left the ministry. Up till now, he
left the ministry.
He left the ministry. Danderson Crowther. So now, when all that had happened, the man became depressed. The report they took to the home church, the Church of England, was that he was those two reports that he was a weak leader, all the pastors are drunkards, and then and all those things. There were other things in me. Those things demoralized him, and to the extent that they suspended him, which should never be done to a bishop, not even to talk of whatever. Because in the Anglican structure, you can't. So he was now worshiping at the Cathedral Church
in Lagos.
In Lagos, that's where he settled. And churches Melo now the one by and all that. And his first daughter married Herbert Macaulay. So Kelly connect. Those were they were small. Small one around one leko. So the long and short of it was that these issues weighed him down. Then, that as that's one thing a little bit about the Anglican. So one thing I like the Anglican, even when you retire. Okay, let me finish my statement. When you retire, you are permitted to wear the robe, to even get involved in worship. And I like that thing. I retired as a Baptist pastor. Baptists are near Toba Law Church. Pastor Yama church. I'm sorry, we used to, but in the Anglican, if you retire, you wear your robe, you go to the church. The pastor is not afraid. He can even give you role to perform. And during envelope, he will give you. Up till now, the Anglican one need that structure to good. But he was denied those things. How will you feel? And even a bishop for that matter, not ordinary reverend, not a deacon, a bishop.
First black African
bishop. So it was demoralizing. In fact, around 21 in Lambert, money copy of me, they apologized. They knew that could send it to him. And in fact, he managed it. But when 31st of December, 1899, because he didn't enter 1900, he just died. So those are some of the
so the story about Olusola-Niyi and Ogubi. Did they ever? So I heard it from the CNS people.
Okay.
I want to hear it from you. Olusola-Niyi coming to Lagos and meeting Ogubi.
What kind of definitely he will meet him, but they are not on the same path.
Are you sure, sir? Because Ogubi was already fighting for African kind of, and Olusola-Niyi wasn't there. Do their views not intersect at that point?
There's a book tí mo ní lórí. You know, basically, let's talk about Orimalade.
Okay.
You see, when Orimalade came from Ikare Akoko.
Yes, sir.
So I've showed you the connection between Orimalade and the Cookers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. At least any of the Cookers. But now, when Orimalade came to Lagos, side the Akpongbon, what today is known as Akpongbon,
yeah.
But in those days, Ìsàlẹ̀, in fact, Ìsàlẹ̀ kìíní kan wọ́n ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. So that's the, after the encounter with the lady Sophia, láti Campus Square, the lady used to attend the Catholic Church in the Campus Square,
Akishon.
Akishon, okay. So the do I use the word tolerant?
Be free, sir.
Okay. People were not that tolerant of Orimolade's physique, his personality, and so on. Apart from this issue of pekolerin, later on sọ pé ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí rìn. The truth is that he was crippled. Later on he would wọ́n á gbé, then but wọ́n bá débi kan tó wáyé pé bóyá wọ́n fẹ́ lọ between here and there, then he will manage, and some people call it bad leg, but he was almost crippled. You see, Kachopela is in wheelchair or okay. Some other means of supporting himself. Okay. Perhaps that would have. So, but the truth is that he had that deformity.
Okay.
In addition, he had also some somebody presentable. In fact, it was the Caucans that polished him a little bit. They couldn't say ẹni tí wọ́n máa ń hardly ló máa ń wẹ̀. Unfortunately, one should not go to that extent. But that's the kind of person he was. So he was not that attractive. So that also plays a kind of restriction or barrier between him and the educated pastors, elite of that time.
But he met Ogunbi.
Yes. Because of, especially when he became popular, when his ministry was attracting, you see, when people have problem, so when people now were attracted to him, and he was receiving them, and some of the big legations. In fact, one of the rich people of the time also visited him. Yes, so that's to show to that extent only followership, only kini. And for Ogunbi tó jẹ́ pé òní star of the kini kí ó rí ẹnìkan náà tí ó di pé ó máa ń ṣe. So definitely they would have had one or two things.
They actually had.
But not in the area of ministering together or church related. But then the possibility of their interacting or sharing one or two things together, it's possible.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I think we should end the discussion. How many minutes do you have there? 53. Okay, we have got 53 minutes.
That's a big one.